And I'm going to hit record. Welcome everyone to this live show. All right, welcome. Welcome everyone to this live show. I am live over here on Facebook and I'm live with you guys on Instagram. So thank you so much for joining me for this live show. So today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how to use human design to craft offers that light you up. And so if you're joining me live, hashtag live. If you're joining on the replay, hashtag replay. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to kind of go back and forth between Facebook and Instagram, but thank you guys so much for joining me. So using your human design, it is one thing to use to understand and know your human design, but truly it's another thing to then take that knowledge of your human design chart and apply that to your business and key areas of your business. So I'm going to talk to you guys today, just sharing a little bit of an example about a client that I worked with, and just to give you guys some backstory on this client. She had been having some frustration working in her business and in her offers. She had been having some frustration. We had kind of had to pinpoint down to where some of that source of frustration was coming from. And we did kind of narrow it into some of the offers that she was creating and putting out there and then delivering and showing up for. And then from that session that her and I kind of sat and worked through her chart and brainstormed a little bit together, she was able to walk away with some of the action steps that she needed to make some changes in some of the things that she was offering to her clients. So this particular client, she was a coach. As with many of the clients that I work with, she was also a mom. She had 3 kids. She was a busy mom in charge of all of the other things in her business, but then also outside of her business. And I don't know about you, but same, I can relate on so many different levels to being that person that is in charge of just all of the things, not just in our businesses, but outside of our businesses, and how all of that can kind of add up to the complexity of just running our business in a way that works for us. So this particular client, like, she was so giving towards everyone around her. She always had a kind word to say when you sat and you chatted with her. And so when we met and we got together, she was feeling just this sense of frustration. That's kind of what we kind of zeroed in on, was just this sense of frustration in her business, and specifically how she was showing up to her for her client sessions, or just how she was delivering on some of the offers that she had already created and put out there. So how she was showing up for her clients, for her people. And so she felt this sense of feeling stuck and just in this constant state of frustration just with the offers she created. Because of the way she had set things up in her business, your offers are a big piece of like your business model and how you're bringing and generating revenue in your business. Her biggest thing was that we're creating these offers. Initially, a lot of these offers came to be because it was based on what she thought she should be doing. So I don't know if you've ever felt that way. You've felt this sense of frustration in, an offer, you kind of crafted it, put it together, but then when you went to deliver on it, something felt off, or you felt this sense of frustration, or you created from this place of feeling like you should, like this is how things should be done. And so after working with her, we went through key points of like her human design chart and uncovered some of the ways and the key things of how she's actually designed to show up and deliver for her clients, that she was able to kind of take those tidbits of information, actually turn some things around in how she was offering and positioning and putting things out there. And basically she walked away with more than just like action steps, but it was like that permission slip to make these changes and that permission slip to actually lean in and trust herself. So I don't know if you guys have felt like that. If you have, you can raise your hand. You can say, yes, I totally relate to that. I've done that. And totally get what I'm saying. So if we haven't met before and you're just joining me for the first time, I want to welcome you guys for this live. My name is Jen Dice. I am a human design and aligned business coach, former Pinterest marketer and strategist and blogger turned human design coach, who kind of brings that touch of who we are at our core and actually working first towards aligning you to who you are, uncovering who you are at your core, and uncovering those superpowers so that you can then infuse that into your business and ultimately supercharge your business. So today, I mostly work with female online entrepreneurs who are ready to ditch the shoulds so they can have more freedom and joy in their business. So what are we talking about today? If you're just joining live, again, hashtag live. If you're catching this on the replay, hashtag replay. So we're chatting about like that sense of using your human design to create offers that light you up. And so this is kind of the point of that backstory with that particular client in some of the key pieces that we uncovered in her chart, and some of these tips you can kind of walk away with and see how they apply best to you and your situation. So one of the things that I asked her in this session when we sat down to work together was, how can you better like understand your unique design or your human design type, so that you can ultimately feel when you're stepping into alignment versus when you're stepping out of alignment. So that was like the first thing that we worked on together. And for her, it was just identifying that feeling. So for her, it was that feeling of frustration. That was the biggest key point that she brought up in our session, was just, how would you identify the feeling that is coming up when you're stepping into some of these things that you're doing, and that is ultimately kind of leading you to that feeling of being stuck with what you're doing with your clients in your business. So the question to ask yourself is, how can you identify that feeling for you? Like, what is coming up when you're stepping, like if you're feeling these key points in your business, you're feeling, it doesn't have to just be offers. We're talking about offers because that was the situation with this particular client, but how are you feeling? What are some of the feelings that are coming up for you? Is it frustration? Is it a little bit of bitterness? Is it a little bit of anger? Is it a little bit of disappointment? Is it just, what is that feeling? Can you encompass that feeling and identify like where you may be feeling this in your business? It's particularly with your offers, because we're talking about offers, and your offer is a key point in how your business is ultimately like growing and being set up for growth. So identifying that, how are you stepping out of alignment? So this is kind of like when you can identify that, it'll be that feeling of, it's kind of like when you're stepping into alignment, it's kind of like getting that green light, for like to cross a busy intersection. So like you're in the crosswalk and you're getting that green light, that walk sign to cross, like then you're kind of stepping into that alignment. So when you understand your overall human design type, so that is like, you're a generator, you're a projector, you're a manifesting generator, you're a reflector, you're a manifester, one of those types. Each of those types has a certain feeling that predominantly comes up. So for her, it was frustration that was predominantly coming up. And when she was experiencing that, that was like that red flag moment of like that don't walk sign. Do not cross the busy intersection or you might get run over. So that's kind of what it's like when you understand your human design type. It's that feeling of like, if I step now, I'm not stepping out and walking and crossing the crosswalk when I should, and when I'm supposed to, or when in a way that works for me. So that was one of the first things that we identified, is understanding those feelings that are coming up specifically around your offer and what you're offering to others. The second point was knowing like how, like, so second question to ask yourself is, and I asked her is, when it comes to specifically for her, the offers that she was putting out there, how it felt with the way that you were showing up and communicating. Like what specifically, when you look at the specific offer, what pieces and parts do you like and what pieces and parts do you not like? So it's knowing how you're designed to communicate with your clients, so that you create containers that work for you. You have those containers, they work for you. That's how you know that they're in that alignment for you. And that goes back to that feeling of, do you cross the cross? Do you have the green light to walk, or is it red light? Is it a red light or is it green light? That's kind of the easiest way to explain it. And so when you have that understanding and truly that knowledge based on key points in your chart of how you're designed to communicate, also like taking in information from others, and how you're designed to learn and then implement and apply and then communicate and express to others, teach others, guide others, however you might like associate that with, like that is how you're designed to create, and how can you create the containers that go with it. So this is kind of like when we create offers based on a way that we think we should be creating things, This is kind of like walking into the wrong classroom and sitting down and just staying there. Like just staying there, just hanging out. You know that something's wrong with this scene because you were actually looking for the library, but you walked into the wrong classroom and you just sat down. You just kind of went with it because you thought, well, if I can't get up right now because I already walked in and I sat down, so I have to stay here. So that's kind of like that. Like when you are creating things, especially like offers in your business, because that is how you're showing up. That is how you're delivering value for your clients. When you are showing up in that way, like, but it's out of alignment. Like, it's just like, it's almost like you walk into that classroom and it's not the right classroom, but you just kind of sit and hang out anyways, because you just feel like you should, or you don't want to cause a scene and get up and walk out when technically you were looking for the library, but you walked into the wrong classroom. That is kind of what it's like when you are creating offers and containers and like services and packages that are truly based on what you think you should, what somebody else told you should do next, and without kind of consulting and going back to that red light, green light situation of like, should I step out into the crosswalk now, or is it not safe? Like, do I pause a minute and not walk with this? And then the third question, just to kind of ask yourself is, okay, with this information, how can we best align you to making the right decision? How can we work so that you make the right decisions going forward, so that instead of staying stuck on the curb at the crosswalk, you actually walk when the light tells you can walk. You actually take that action. And so for this is knowing your authority in your human design, and that is how you're designed to make decisions. So with her, we walked through her main authority, which was sacral authority, and how she can tune into that authority to make these smaller decisions, so that she knew with confidence when she said yes to this one thing and she moved forward, the light was actually green in the intersection. She was walking when she was supposed to walk. She wasn't staying stuck on the curb. She wasn't staying like in that one spot, and she wasn't also stepping out into traffic on when it's not safe to cross, so that she wasn't getting hit by cars, whatever. That's kind of like how you can think of that. It's when you make the right decisions, you're identifying that red light, green light, red okay walk, no okay walk in that busy. Okay. Sorry about that. Somebody always has to call for some reason at this time every week. But anyways, that is kind of how it all adds up together. It's how do you understand your human design type so you can feel when you are stepping into and out of alignment. You can see those red flags, that red light and that green light. You can start to be aware of that. And then how can you look at your chart and understand how you're best designed to communicate and work with your clients and create a container or create an offer that truly works for you, that resonates with you, that is totally based on your strengths and not based around an offer of what somebody said you should do next in your business. Because I know I've been there. And then the third part is understanding how you can tune into your body, you can tune into your authority to make those decisions so that you can cross at the right time. It's not about seeing the red light and green light. It's that awareness when you know your human design type, but then also being confident in making the decision of taking that step off of the curb when it's the right time for you, when it's in alignment for you. So then you know you're stepping into that crosswalk, not in traffic. You're stepping into it when you're supposed to be stepping into it. You're taking action. You're not staying stuck on the curb even when the light is green. You're confidently making those decisions, and you're stepping forward based on your human design into an offer that truly aligns with who you are based on your unique design, if that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense. Does that resonate with anybody? Does that analogy resonate with anybody? Because sometimes it's hard to explain the complexities of that human design chart. So that is key if you're working on trying to understand not just the pieces of your chart, but then how to apply it to different areas of your business. And this is one example. This is one client. She was able to take that and then make some massive shifts and have actually that permission to make the changes she needed to change in her offers, so that when she marketed them, when she sold them, when she showed up for them, for the clients, it was something that lit her up and did not drain her or burn her out, because she was making those decisions from an aligned place using her human design. So I want to just thank you guys so much for showing up with me and being on here live in spite of a little bit of a call. I'm not sure who called me. Thank you for showing up with me, for me. I really appreciate you guys. And for those of you who do want to dive deeper into your human design and understand how it works for your business, just be sure, I'm going to drop the link here below. Make sure you click the link in the description or the comments below so we can continue the conversation, and you can grab just that free little extra that I have for you to just kind of take that next step and just start to uncover your human design. And of course, always, if you have questions for me, feel free to reach out. I am happy to answer them. But otherwise, I will see you guys back here again live next week with more value on how you can use your human design to supercharge your business. All right. Bye, everyone.